giving us the signal.
Yeah, he gave us the phone.
All right. Come into the quiet, come in from the storm, to a place where time stands still, the Spirit is reborn. Come into the quiet, take your place among the stars. Come into this place, come as you are. You don't need directions to find this place in time. Just head on down the road that's laid before you. Circle back around your heart and you'll find peace of mind. Trust the place inside that's calling you home. Come into the quiet, wrap your heart around all the love that's here for you, just waiting to be found. Come into this holy place and whisper to the stars. Come into this place, come as you are. Now you don't need directions to find this place and time. Just head on down that road that's laid before you. Circle back around your heart and you'll find peace of mind. Trust that place inside that's calling you home. Come into the quiet, let the silence say all the things you'd like to hear each and every day. Come into the quiet, you can listen to the stars. Come into this place, come into this place, come into this place, come as you are. Come into this place, come as you are.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. Good morning. To all of those who are here and to those of you who are joining us on our worldwide online community, I welcome you to the Unity of North Spokane, where we are dedicated to touching hearts and transforming lives. For those of you who are here for the first time, we welcome you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. I'm Stephanie Michelotti. I'm your platform assistant this morning, and if you could all take a moment to silence your cell phones, that would be grand. Now, we begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle: one presence, one power, one life, living through and as each one of us. Now, at this time, I would like to I'm not going to have you stand and greet your neighbor yet because our order is a little bit different today, so I just want to let you know that today is the first Sunday of Advent, and our spiritual leader, Jeff Tawney, will be delivering a message on the first Sunday of Advent, so please give him a warm welcome. And then I would like to invite you to stand and greet your neighbors, and then stay standing so that you can participate in our community song. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know. Good morning. Good morning.
There you go. We got to show her. We got to show her. We got to show her a week.
Nikki.
I'm Robin. I think they're going to be here for the Advent candle lighting. I think they're going to do it. Gotcha.
Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here before the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, desire of humankind, bind all peoples in one heart and mind. Bid envy, strife, and quarrel cease. Fill the whole world with heaven's peace. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, the wisdom from on high, and order all things far and nigh. To us the path of knowledge show, and teach us in her ways to go. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, bright morning star, and bring us comfort from shall come to thee, O Israel.
May be seated. Thank you all. Welcome. I find myself going against the grain a little bit into what we normally would do or what is normally done on the first Sunday of Advent. Part of it has to do with the fact that as I'm new into ministry, there's no set script or anything that says this is the way you do it. So this week has been one of discovery and adventure for me as I have been putting something together of Advent. And even the lyrics in this song, I chose different because of that, and I'll explain. Sandra and I had an exchange. Are you sure you want this and not that? Yeah, I want this. And so I want this specific spelling because of the point that I want to make as we look at Advent. So lighting the Christ candle, which is the white candle represented here, we begin the sacred season of Advent. We recognize that on this side of the birth of Christ, we all have been created with the Christ light. I say that because back in the day, they didn't know that they had a Christ light. We're created in the image of God, which means if we're created in the image of God, nothing of God has been left out of us. And it wasn't until the birth of Jesus and the life of Christ that we discover that, everything Jesus had and the consciousness of Jesus and the consciousness of Christ, we have as well. And it's a matter of calling it out and calling it into being. So I light this white candle, which represents purity, with the knowing that all is available to us from this light. We open our hearts to the first divine quality we celebrate: hope and faith. In unity, hope and faith is not longing for something outside of ourselves, but a deep awareness of the infinite potential of Spirit within each of us. It is the quiet assurance that divine order is at work, guiding us for the greater good. The candle we light today represents the spark of hope and faith, that spark that lives in all of us. As we align with this truth, we prepare the way for the Christ presence to be revealed more fully in our daily lives. I'm going to ask, the other thing we're doing here is we have the kids present because each week a family will be represented in our candle lighting. And this week we have Sarah, Jory, and Jesse. And so in our first affirmation, there we go. So our first affirmation that we will say together we say, "The light of hope and faith shines brightly within me. I trust the divine unfolding of all good things." Go ahead. Oh, Mike, where's Mike, Steph? No, the mic.
Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen.
The scripture invites us to see hope as a spiritual knowing, grounded in faith. It is the inner light that keeps us moving forward, even when the path seems uncertain. As we turn within, we remember that we are never alone. The divine wisdom and love always guides us. Advent is a journey of trust, a time of awaken to the Christ potential in all of us, and to know that no matter the circumstances, hope and faith leads us to peace, love, and joy.
We light this candle of hope and faith to remind us of the eternal light of spirit that shines within us. It is a light that cannot be extinguished, a beacon of promise and possibility.
Let us take a moment of silence to reflect on this light within us and within all
Beings. Okay, so let's join together in reciting.
Sorry. There we go.
Candle, candle, burning bright, shining in the winter light. Candle, candle, burning bright, fill our hearts with Christmas light.
Now I'm going to dismiss the children to go to their class as we prepare for meditation. Thank you, kids. So I invite you all to just feel yourselves supported in your chairs. Rest your feet on the ground. You sit in that seat knowing that you are fully supported. As we say sometime, it's got you. Not only is it supporting your weight, but it also has your back. You can feel yourself pressing into the back of the chair. Together, let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath together. And exhale. And just continue to breathe normally. As we think of hope as a seed, and that seed by itself doesn't produce anything. So what seeds of hope are you looking at today? What is meaningful for you in your life today? And the nurturing of that seed is your faith. Maybe that seed is healing of a loved one. Maybe that seed is a peaceful transition of a loved one. Maybe it's a relationship restored. A new job. Abundance. Maybe it's a community of people have the same focus and the same mindset as you. Maybe there's a prodigal in your life. And the hope and faith for the return of that prodigal. Continue to breathe. In this collective that we call unity. Here, knowing that you are with people of like mind, like consciousness, like desires. You breathe in calm. Release your anxiety as you breathe out. As we come to the conclusion of our meditation, think of that Christ light burning inside of you. No one can distinguish that light. That is your light. And as you recognize that light in yourself, you also see that light in others. It's there. And let's all take a deep breath together. Another deep breath as we think of oneness. And exhale. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Feel free to open your eyes. Thank you. So the first Sunday of Advent represents hope and faith. Advent is the word for adventure, which means an unusual stirring and experience. It comes from the same Latin root word for Advent. The Unity booklet, The Promise of Christmas, Advent 1994, said that the vast and uncharted frontier of the Advent experience is that which exists within. To search for the advent of Jesus Christ means to embark on an adventure of spiritual introspection. Unity believes that Advent is a time of spiritual preparation and anticipation for the birth of Christ. It is a time to reflect on the meaning of Christmas and to focus on the spiritual aspects of the holiday season. Unity encourages individuals to use this time to deepen our connection with God and to cultivate a sense of peace, joy, and love in their hearts. Unity has historically viewed the season of Advent as an inner search of mind and heart. Co-founder Charles Fillmore spoke of unity and Advent on January 24th, 1923, in a radio broadcast called Christ Mind, the Second Coming of Christ. He shared his thoughts on his understanding that Christ is an idea in divine mind and highlighted the universality of the Christ, the divine essence that dwells in every human being. Fillmore said, people with preconceived human notions of the second coming are bound to be disillusioned. They are simply looking at the wrong place to discover Advent. Once you understand the spiritual character of Christ's second coming, he said, then you will find Christ within yourself. Fillmore drove his understanding of true Advent in an apocryphal story about a follower of William Miller. Miller had professed that Jesus' second coming would occur between 1843 and 1844. The story Fillmore shared, was about a farmer who was a Millerite. He was a Millerite follower. The man put on his ascension robe and climbed upon a stack of hay to await the second coming. As he fell asleep there, some mischievous boys saw his slumbering, struck a match to the haystack, and it went up in flames. When the man suddenly awakened, he yelled, "Resurrection morn, and I am in hell," just as expected. Fillmore found within the story the precise problem of human expectations. The human understanding of Advent was a personal construct rather than a truthful divine one. Instead, Fillmore taught, it is a metaphysical fact, according as you think in your hearts, so are you. He concludes that there is such a thing as a Christ consciousness. He assured his listeners that the kingdom of God is within you, and that the more we search for the inner kingdom and comply with the law, the more we know about the second coming. The second coming, Fillmore said, is right here now. In the Old Testament, it is foretold of the coming of Christ, the coming of the Messiah, and talking about the coming of Emmanuel, which means God with us, that the Christ would be with us. And Emmanuel, as translated, or I should say, Christ within us, as translated in Hebrew, is Emmanuel, I-M-M. In the New Testament, when we're looking back, where it looks back at that time, it's translated in Greek, and the Greek spelling is Emmanuel, E-M-M. So the difference is, if you're looking at the Old Testament, Emmanuel is with an I, and when you're looking at the New Testament, it's with an E. And I thought it relevant because it's very easy for us on this side of the Christ birth to look back at the hope and the faith in that and not be a big deal. Not be a big deal in that, well, it's easy to have hope and faith in something when you've seen it come to pass. It's a completely different situation when you're standing in captivity, being held as a slave, calling for the Christ calling for the Messiah without any seed of fact or knowledge. And to be able to sing and sing the songs, O come, Emmanuel. So I took liberties with the song. Took a little bit of liberty there. When we look at the story from the future, it's easy to project the hope and faith. When I look at the story of my son's medical ordeal, it's much easier to look at that story from a place of him being healed. But when I look at that story from the place of his sickness and what he was going through, it stirs the emotion because there wasn't a lot of hope and there wasn't a lot of faith. The prognosis that we had very early on was he'll probably be paralyzed for the rest of his life. The extent of the paralysis, we don't know. There was so much we don't know. And I understand that doctors and the medical profession look at science. So they're looking at things from a scientific standpoint. They're not looking at things from a faith and a spiritual concept. That example was evident on a day when I had came and I was here. It was the fourth day of that I was here. When I arrived in Spokane, my son was able to do this. He was paralyzed from the waist down. He was able to do this. And when I left 4 days later, all he could do was shrug his shoulders. And as I was getting ready to travel back to California, I knew that morning he had an appointment with his neurologist. The neurologist was coming in, so I was there bright and early because I wanted to talk to the neurologist and find out what is going on. What is happening? Because there were no answers. All we knew is he had this autoimmune disease that was attacking his nervous system, and it had an onset, it had a peak, and then it regressed, and whatever was left, it's like getting hit with a hurricane. Like you have all of this coming in, and then once it resets and goes away, then you understand what the damage is, and you deal with the damage. But they couldn't tell us what that damage would be. So doctor comes in, and we're sitting with the doctor, and I won't use the exact language my son said because it would be bleeped. But the doctor said to my son, Jared said to him, I just want to know, and we're asking questions. And Jared says, look, all I want to know is, am I going to be able to hold my daughter? Am I going to be able to walk again? Am I going to be able to hike again? Am I going to be able to do jujitsu and all the things that I did before? And the doctor said, you need to resolve yourself to the fact that you have a 20 to 80% chance of ever walking again. Science. And my son looked at him very sternly, without beating an eyebrow, said, Your 20 to 80%, I'm walking again. And the doctor looked at me like, wow, your son's using pretty hard, like, you're going to let your son talk to me like that? And I looked at the doctor and I said, don't ever tell my son what he can't do. You don't tell this kid what he can't do because he will do it despite you. I know. I raised him. Was the science that the doctor gave my son a truth? Was it a seed? Or was it a grain of sand? I say grain of sand because Chris shared something with me this morning and I thought, it's perfect. Is it a seed or is it a grain of sand? I understand that science, they look at the truth in things and they see that's the truth. And that's no different than when people are looking at factual information or analysis. This person has a 30% chance of recovery. This person, in what he's done, the crime that he's committed, has a 70% chance of doing it ever again. This person has this. There's all these things that people want to hold on to. But what about the remaining percentage? What about the hope and the faith in that 20%? You've all met my son. You've seen him. You wouldn't know anything happened to him except for the scar that he bears. Being on breathing, being on life support. We hung on every test results. Is it a seed or is it a grain of sand? If the test results came back with something, we'd reject it. Nope, we're not going to believe that. We're going to hold on to the fact that he will walk again. And I've shared that story with you guys, but as I was preparing the talk today, I was thinking about how can I take myself back to a place where I had very little hope for? And how can I relate to what Emmanuel and what the Hebrews were looking for? And how do we look at that as we go into Christmas and the Christ consciousness, right? And what's to come? We are so distracted in our world today. Yes, technology has come a long ways, but we are distracted by our phones, television, activity. A few of us went bowling last night to celebrate somebody's birthday. And now you just don't go into a bowling alley where it's light and you can bowl. You got to turn all the lights off, and you got to add neon lights and blinking and televisions. Oh my gosh! And Julie and I were like, "Oh my gosh, the stimulation in here is over the top." Like, I just want to bowl. I don't care about all this other stuff. But that's the need that culture has created, and we buy into it. I'll never forget the first days of having a cell phone. Well, I should say, because I grew up in wireless. So when I was in high school, I worked for a communications company, and we sold pagers and beepers and two-way radios. So I literally have grown up in wireless technology. And when I got my first cell phone, I was actually working for Cellular One, which became AT&T at the time. And I remember I got my phone. Who can I call? What can I do? And I remember driving one place one time thinking, I need to pick up the phone and call somebody. Why? I didn't need to. I just felt the draw, I can't just be driving and listening to the radio. I need more stimulation. Where did that come from? A year before that, I wouldn't even care to have a phone in my car, right? But it's what we get caught into. Now, the point I want to make here is that we come into Christmas time and we are bombarded by ads and things that are calling us and calling our attention from what the real intention is of this time of Advent, this time of reflecting and looking within ourselves. What is it that we want? What are the seeds of hope that we have? And how can we nurture those into a faith, and into a faith that says, I believe? Being truthful, during Jared's sickness and his recovery, I didn't believe that he would walk again. But I believed he would be okay. I believed that we were going to get through this. And maybe running in Bloomsday wasn't a run, but maybe it was a wheelchair run, in the wheelchair. And my son said to me many times, I don't care how I come out of this, Dad. I just want to make sure. I want to encourage people. And what was important? It wasn't the kind of life, it was it wasn't life, it was a kind of life for him. And that's our opportunity. It's not about celebrating, it's the kind of celebration. It's not about change, it's about the kind of change. It's not about hope, it's the kind of hope. It's not about faith, it's the kind of faith. We can have faith in a baseball game or a basketball game or whatever. But what's really important? What's really at stake here? We are in challenging times, extremely challenging times. We just come out of Thanksgiving. I'm not sure about you folks, but we had a great Thanksgiving, even though we were an hour and a half late. I read the time wrong and read the text wrong, and my son's texting me, hey, we're eating. Really? We're just getting ready. But we had a great time. It was a great time. Fear is the unknown. I think of my 22-year-old grandson at Thanksgiving. Papa I make my mom's Jell-O every year. And so the kids have grown to no, that's Thanksgiving, Papa's bringing the Jell-O. We show up, and the kids run to the door. It was, Papa Jeff, did you bring the Jell-O? Did you bring the Jell-O? Yes, I've got the Jell-O. And the kids love it. It's like a dessert almost, but we still serve it with the food. But I think of my 22-year-old grandson who's never tasted it. And I tried to get him to taste it. He would not taste it. The fear of nope. Tried many times, even after he saw his siblings eating that Jell-O. Nope, not going to do it. That fear, it's the same fear I have with Brussels sprouts, right? It's like, nope, not going to do it. I don't care how much bacon you put on it, not going to happen. And I know that that kid, if he would just taste it, this kid's an eater, it would be gone. It's probably a good thing that he hasn't tasted it. But he would not taste it. I chased him around a couple times throughout the night. Nope, not going to try it. It's like, okay. But it's that fear and that unknown, right? And so we go into the holidays and we go into this time of Advent with the fear of the unknown. And the things before us, are they a seed or are they a grain of sand? So what are the seeds in your life? What allows us to see the possibility? What are the grains of sand? It could be anything that doesn't allow us to see the other person. A seed could be the possibility of someone's going through a medical ordeal and the outcome of that. Let us look in these days, in these coming days, for seeds. And let us nurture those seeds in the faith of knowing it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Things may be different, but in the end, we're going to be okay. And know that those seeds nurtured by faith, produce a belief, and that belief produces peace, love, and joy. That is the meaning of Christmas. My friends, stay curious and be the blessing.
People look east, the time is near of the crowning of the year. Make your house fair as you are able, trim the hearth and set the table. People look east and sing today, love the guest is on the way. Furrows be glad though earth is bare, one more seed is planted there. Give up your strength the seed to nourish, that in course the flower may flourish. People look east and sing today, love the rose is on the way. Birds, though you long have ceased to build, guard the nest that must be filled. Even the hour when wings are frozen, God for fledgling time has chosen. People look east and sing today, love the bird is on the way. Stars keep the watch when night is dim, one more light the bowl shall brim, shining beyond the frosty weather, bright as sun and moon together. People look east and sing today, love the star is on the way. People look east and sing today, love the star is on the way.
Wow. Sandra, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Your talent just moves me, absolutely moves me. And Jeff, thank you so much. It's kind of a strange thing for me to go through Advent, especially for faith and hope, because I can tell you that in my earlier days when I was beginning my spiritual journey, not only did I have no faith, and not only did I have no hope, I actually advocated against hope. And I would tell people this is a 4-letter word. It is a curse word. And to have come from that to here, where I still have no idea how far I have to go on my journey, it is extraordinary to me to have done a complete turnaround on that. So thank you so much for your encouragement in that and planting those seeds for us. So for any of you who ever feel that hopelessness and that faithlessness, that can change. It can be different. It's all in what we believe. And now I'm going to invite you to come up and take care of our offering statements and go from there.
As the ushers get ready to administer the offering. This is always the awkward part for me, is the offering.
It's not awkward for me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Pony up, people.
I just, it has always been an area of growth for me because it just feels awkward to say, okay, folks, it's time to give. And I still have that hurdle to overcome. But it is an opportunity for us to support what we are trying to do. Or I shouldn't say trying, we are doing. We are supporting our community with this ministry. We are supporting people around our community. And as we do here, the ripple effects go throughout. So I always get this confused, Steph. Do we do this before?
We do that after.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
we're going
right.
to do that after. We're going to hear some more music.
Okay, great, Steph.
Yeah.
Get me out of this.
Yeah, we're good. Give her a hand.
Wow. It felt like the prelude to a Charlie Brown
I
song.
know, right?
Charlie Brown.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. All right, together. Divine
Divine
love
in, through, and as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. And then please join us in our unity statement. Together. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God. For there is one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. It is therefore the position of unity to urge all nations, their leaders, and their people to turn to God by whatever the name for guidance during these challenging times and to pursue peace, for this is what honors the God of all faith traditions. Thank you. And now we have some announcements. Before I get into those, I would just like to remind you I am your chaplain today, and if any of you need prayer, I will be available after service for prayer. And if you just want to do prayer requests, you can place them in the prayer box over here where we will pray over them, and then Unity, Silent Unity, will continue to pray over them for 30 days. All right. We have a volunteer opportunity. If you would like to be part of our hospitality team, please sign up to bring treats. The sign-up sheet is over where we put the treats. All right, the Girl Scout troop is hosting a glow-in-the-dark dance. Anybody can come to that. You can see there's a registration link there. It is also in our newsletter and on the web. It'll be on the website as well. All right, our chakra class is resuming this Wednesday. There is a very slight chance that that won't happen, but as you know, we did not have chakra class last week, but we are resuming this Wednesday so far. Okay, and remember that we do have a Unity Support Circle. This is for all of you and anyone. This can be good, this can be not good, this can be celebrations, this can be challenges, but so many of you have expressed that you want to have community. So we have developed a sacred circle for anybody who wants to come. It's from 4 to 6, and it is on the 2nd and 4th Sundays of the month. And of course, Sue Jarvis was a wonderful member of Unity, and one of the things that she used to do is she would knit hats throughout the year, and then she would fill those hats with things that homeless people might need. Then she would send those to the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department would distribute those to the homeless. We are continuing her service. If you would like to contribute a donation to help buy objects for the hats, there is a box back here by the peace window. There's also a QR code there. If you want to go to the website to donate, you can donate on the website as well. As of now, we do have 50 tubes of toothpaste, and we do have 50 toothbrushes. You're welcome. And if you need to know how to create hats, Sue, we can get you in touch with Susan, who can give you a pattern for those hats. And she had said that rather than buy fleece, if you have fleece blankets, that those work really, really well if they're coming to a point where you're thinking you want to replace them. All right, and Unity Center, of course, we are having our Christmas party, and that is going to be on December 14th during the day from 1 to 3. Christmas carols, the women's choir, Santa, fun, food, show up, have a good time. Bring a dish. And now, let's welcome in.
Real quick.
Oh, yes, Sandra, I'm sorry, I did not mean to forget you.
Actually, that was me. Wow. If
Oh,
I'm sounding like Sandra, God has showed up.
sorry.
Holy, you know what?
I heard it and I went, oh, wait. I know there's one more, and I just automatically assume it's Sandra.
If I can
Sorry.
sound like Sandra, there is definitely.
If I can sound like Sandra, I am dead.
Yeah. Anyways, speaking of parties, how'd you like that segue? Reminder, everyone knows when I'm here, there's usually a reason. So guess what? Divas are in action this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, at the Jack Center at Post Falls, 7 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock matinee for all you people that need to be in bed by 5. Well, you know. So tickets are still available.
I have tickets.
We did that 2 o'clock
Yes.
just for Byron. And anyways, again, it's going to be a Christmas show. So the whole second half is dedicated to Christmas the Diva way. So you guys know what that means. You never know what you're going to get.
It'll be chaotic.
It'll be wonderful, and
It's our twist on Christmas.
it is our twist on Christmas. It is going to be family friendly, like
Yeah,
we always
for
are.
the most
very
part.
friendly for the most part. Yeah. But anyways, again, inviting you guys all. Bring your favorite 20 people with you, and let's do something right for Christmas. Start it off good.
Let's do it.
One thing I do want to plug is we have the Advent books. I'm sorry I got them late. I've got 20. I have more coming. So if you just take one, and then next week when you come back, you can take a copy for someone else if you'd like. But these are the Unity Advent booklets, and we'll be following some of this. There's some great readings in this, and they're free. But if you want to add a little love donation for it, that would be helpful too. But I have some here, and there's some in the back. So make sure everybody grab a booklet.
Right, and then I also want to remind you that all of our announcements come in the newsletter. Open that up. There's good stuff in there. It's important. Take your bulletins with you. There's good stuff on there. Go to the website. there's great stuff on there. And so we can connect with you in a number of ways, and also through Facebook and some other ways. So sign up for the newsletter if you haven't, and then just connect with us, because we want to connect with you. Let's bring in our youth.
You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Hi, Kendra. Welcome. Tell us what happened today.
Good morning, everyone. So today, you want to hold them out? We made ornaments for the Christmas tree of hope and faith to go along with the Advent candle lighting.
Nice.
And that's
Wonderful. Hold them up. Let's see them. Beautiful. And are you guys going to be decorating trees too?
I don't know, are we?
Oh, let's bless our youth. These are beautiful. I hope these get on our Christmas tree. All right, together. Be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And for us, be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And one thing before we do our circle is a reminder that we are decorating today. Our primary thing is to get some wreaths up and get some trees decorated. We have 3. We need some help getting them out of the shed. And then please stay for treats and coffee and tree decorating. And let's move on. All right, let's join in for our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right. And together, our prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and that's the truth. Thank you, everyone.
It came